Hello students, welcome to the lecture series on international business. Today we will begin with a new topic, that is overview of exchange rate system, and this is part 1. I am Professor Soma Sen Gupta, Kamala Nehru College, University of Delhi. In this lecture we will discuss the following topics: foreign exchange markets, foreign exchange rate, types of foreign exchange market, players of foreign exchange market. Before we begin with the foreign exchange market, we have to go through whatever you have studied previously in international financial system. So, let us do a quick recap of what we have studied in international financial system. So, in an international financial or monetary system means the institutional arrangements that govern exchange rates. The group of rules, conventions, institutions that administer the international business, trade and investment are all called as international monetary system. A smooth and efficient international financial system is a prerequisite for the growth of international business. The system should ensure easy and quick international payments, provide a mechanism for adjusting fluctuations in balance of payment, and for today's lecture, the most important point is that the international financial system should ensure determination of exchange rate through fair play of market forces and not interfere with the economic policies of individual nations. So, the international monetary system, it provides the framework within which foreign exchange rates are ascertained. The main purpose of international financial system and international monetary system is to facilitate transactions between different countries. So, we have discussed all these things when we were discussing the international foreign exchange market. Now, we will specifically discuss foreign exchange markets and how the exchange rates are determined. Foreign exchange market, a defining trait of globalized economy in the recent year has been increased flows of international investment and trade. And why we require a foreign exchange market or a platform? Because the international trade and investment is increasing, it is multiplying, and different countries rather than going for bilateral transaction, they are going for multilateral transaction with number of countries. So, all these requires a kind of an exchange rate, and for that foreign exchange market is necessary. So, all these activities, whether it is investment or trade, this requires utilization of foreign exchange such as dollars, euros and pounds. So, this foreign exchange market is required because sellers in various countries want to be paid in their domestic currency or in a currency considered strong and universally acceptable. An Indian exporter or importer might be either purchasing or selling goods from different countries, but they require the money either in Indian rupee or pay it in euro, and where they can do that? Through the foreign exchange market. So, let us discuss the working of foreign exchange market. A foreign exchange transaction is an arrangement between a buyer and a seller for the delivery of a certain amount of one currency at a specified rate in exchange for some other currency. Now, this transaction takes place in a foreign exchange market, and the foreign exchange market provides a platform for the settlement of international transactions between different players in the market. The foreign exchange market is a kind of a over the counter market. That is, there is no physical market as such, but the currencies are traded through different bodies like banks, commercial banks, intermediaries. So, it is a network of large commercial investment banks, brokers, dealers spread across the globe, connected through telephones, fax and computers. So, this way the foreign exchange market works. So, the global foreign exchange business is concentrated mainly in 4 centers where 2/3 of the total trading takes place. So, these major trading centers are London, New York, Singapore and Tokyo. Other important trading centers are known as secondary trading centers like Zurich, Frankfurt, Paris, Hong Kong, San Francisco, Toronto, Brussels, Bahrain and Sydney. Now, the dollar is the major trading currency, followed by the Deutsche Mark and the Japanese yen. Due to difference in the world time zone, the beautiful thing is that there are only 3 hours out of every 24 hours that the major centers like London, New York and Tokyo all are shut down at the same time for 3 hours. Otherwise, for 21 hours, one of these major center will be open. Now, let us discuss the constituents of the foreign exchange market. Now, foreign exchange market in any country is the cardinal constituent of international monetary system. We all know about that. But this includes not only the institutional framework which is required for international payments or national currencies can be exchanged or cross currency can be exchanged or determined, but there is an intervention also. So, another constituent, not only the one is the free foreign exchange market, another is the government intervention. So, second constituent is foreign exchange markets and government intervention. These are the two major arrangements in international financial system. So, the market forces of course, in case of flexible foreign exchange market, demand and supply they govern the exchange rate, but government intervention is necessary whenever there is an exchange rate crisis. Like if your currency's value is falling too fast vis-a-vis dollar, then government intervention will be required to either buy the currency or sell the currency in the reverse situation. Now, coming to the next heading, and that is foreign exchange. So, cross-border transactions of investment and trade occur through an exchange of currencies between buyers and sellers. So, we all know about that. But a currency is what? It is an articulation of money and a unit of exchange. Foreign exchange is the money of a foreign country in the form of bank notes, drafts, checks. It is expressed as the foreign exchange rate, which is the price of domestic currency in terms of a foreign currency. For example, INR versus USD or Indian rupee versus euro. So, that is the foreign exchange. How the rates are determined? So, let us discuss about the foreign exchange rate. The foreign exchange rate is the price of domestic currency expressed in terms of foreign currency. So, the exchange rate can be expressed as a direct quote or as an indirect quote. Now, direct quote, although direct and indirect mean the same, let us discuss what direct quote is. It can be defined as the home currency price of a foreign currency unit. Direct quotations are also called as European quotations. So, for example, rupees 90 per 1 USD. So, rupee to dollar value is 90. So, that is direct quote. It is the direct quotation of US dollar in India, which implies that 1 US dollar costs rupees 90. Indirect quote is the reverse of that. It is the foreign currency price of a home currency unit. It can be defined as a quote where exchange rate is expressed in terms of number of units of foreign currency per unit of domestic currency. So, it will be reversed. For example, 1 USD oblique rupees 90, that is dollar to rupee is, when you will divide, it will be 0.0111. This is an indirect quote for US dollar in India, which implies rupee 1 is worth US dollar 0.0111. But we do not go for by indirect quote. Direct quotes like 90 rupees per dollar is more common, and this is with other currencies as well. So, indirect quotes are also known as American quotations. However, the quotes are termed as American or European only when one of the currencies is the dollar. Both direct and indirect quotes reflect the same exchange rate and inverse of each other. Since 1993, direct quotes are used in India to express exchange rates. Exchange rates are expressed as another expression is whether it is real exchange rate or nominal exchange rate. When we talk about real exchange rate, if they have been accommodated or adjusted for inflation, then the exchange rate is called real exchange rate, which is taking care of inflation as well. When we are talking about nominal exchange rate, they have been accommodated or adjusted, have not been accommodated or adjusted for inflation. So, this exchange rate is not taking care of the element of inflation present in the country. So, that is known as nominal exchange rate. Now, let us talk about the types of foreign exchange market. The types of foreign exchange market, the first variety is spot market. Spot market, as the name suggests, is that segment of foreign exchange market where currencies are traded for immediate delivery. Now, immediate delivery does not mean then and there. There are 2 working days involved. So, although the term immediate delivery is used, in practice delivery takes place 2 working days after the transaction is complete. The day on which delivery takes place is known as value date or settlement date. The rate applicable to on the spot trades are known as spot exchange rates. The spot exchange rate is the price at which one currency can be traded for another on the day of transaction, although it will be settled in 2 days, but the value is taken on the day of transaction. Forward market is the second variety, and as the name suggests, forward market you must have seen in the stock market as well, people who play forward, that is for a future date. So, here also forward market is that segment of the foreign exchange market where currencies are traded not for immediate delivery, but for delivery on any future date, say after fortnight, 30 days, 90 days and so on. The rate governing such future transaction is known as the forward exchange rate. Forward exchange rate denotes the price at which one currency can be traded for another in future time period. For most major currencies, forward exchange rates are quoted for 30 days, 90 days and 120 days and so on. These rates can be at premium, discount or discount compared to the spot exchange rate. Now, coming to the next heading, that is participants in foreign exchange market. There are several participants in the foreign exchange market. Let us discuss them one by one. One is the non-banking entities. Now, in this non-banking category, the participants include individuals who may be the importers, the exporters, international investors and multinational corporations. So, all these are non-banking entities. They are also called retail clients. Retail clients exchange currencies to settle their international transaction, whether financial or non-financial. When we talk about another category of participants, that comes banking entities, and this can be subdivided into 2 categories, commercial banks and central banks. When we talk about commercial banks deal in the market either on behalf of their customers or on their own account. Now, they act as a market makes in the foreign exchange market, that is they stand ready to buy or sell various currencies at specific prices called bid or ask price. So, they either buy or sell the currency. Now, the spread of difference between bid, that is buying of a currency price, and the ask, that is selling price of the currency, determine the profit margin of the banks. So, that is why to earn a profit margin also and to facilitate foreign exchange trade, commercial banks come into picture. On their own account, commercial banks participate in the forex market for the purpose of speculation and gains. Then one major participant is the central bank, and it plays a key role. The role played by central bank in the foreign exchange market is more of regulatory in nature. They are not into earning profit and speculative purposes, and they are more into regulatory role in case of foreign exchange market. In order to regulate or curb the volatility of exchange rates, central bank makes interventions in the market, as we have discussed that they will either buy the currency of that country or sell the currency of that country to peg the currency to the dollar value or the gold value. These interventions in the forms of buying and selling foreign currencies are aimed at preventing sudden sharp appreciation and depreciation of domestic currency. For example, if the value of rupee vis-a-vis US dollar depreciates. So, what is the situation? The value of rupee is depreciating beyond the acceptable limits. Now, the central bank will sell US dollars in the market. Okay. So, in that way, what will happen? The supply of US dollar will increase and the supply of rupee will decrease. So, it will again maintain the equilibrium or the par value with the dollar, and the value of rupee will appreciate. In the event of unwarranted appreciation, it would buy US dollar, the reverse will be the case. The extent and frequency of central bank's intervention depends on the exchange rate regime, fixed or floating, adopted by the country. Now, then another major participant is foreign exchange brokers. Brokers play the role of mediator in the foreign exchange market. Foreign exchange brokers simply bring buyers and sellers together. So, as the brokers do in regular market, they do that in foreign exchange market also, or they bring the buyers and sellers together. They hold the quotations for various pairs of currencies, but do not buy or sell on their own account, but they are helping the buyers and sellers to trade the currencies. Now, let us summarize whatever we have studied in this lecture. The foreign exchange market provides a platform for the settlement of international transactions between different players in the market. A foreign exchange transaction is an arrangement between buyer and seller for delivery of one currency at a specified rate in exchange for some other currency. Foreign exchange is the money of a foreign country in the form of banknotes, drafts and checks. The foreign exchange rate is the price of domestic currency expressed in terms of foreign currency. The exchange rate can be expressed as direct quote or indirect quote. The type of, when we talk about direct quote, it is basically the domestic currency vis-a-vis dollar, and indirect quote is dollar vis-a-vis the domestic currency, but they mean the same. The type of foreign exchange market are spot market, where the transaction happens on the and the value is determined on the date of transaction, although it is settled in 2 working days, and then there can be forward market where the value is determined for a future date, which may be 30 days or 60 days or 90 days from the date of transaction. Spot market is the segment of foreign exchange market where currencies are traded for immediate delivery. Forward market is the foreign exchange market where currencies are traded not for immediate delivery, but for delivery on any future date. Participants in foreign exchange market are non-banking entities who may be individual importers and exporters. Then there may be banking entities like the commercial bank, and which involves itself in a foreign exchange market for speculation and gains, and then the central bank, which is more as a regulatory body, and the final participant is the foreign exchange brokers, which facilitate trading between the buyer and seller for foreign currency. For your references, you can go through C.B. Gupta, International Business, then Sumati Verma, International Business, and then you can visit the website of ePathshala, then Chaturvedi and others, International Business, and Hill and Hult, International Business, competing in the global marketplace. I believe you have understood the topic. Have a good read and have a nice day. Thank you.